Welcome to our new informative video. If you've ever found yourself feeling a growing distance between you and your children, you're definitely not alone. Have you ever noticed how, despite all the love, patience, and sacrifices you've poured into raising them, they seem to be drifting away? Maybe they've stopped calling as often, started avoiding visits, or even worse, they don't seem to appreciate you the way they once did. It can leave you with a sense of confusion and pain, wondering what went wrong or questioning whether it's too late to fix things. You might even ask yourself, is there something wrong with me? Did I make a mistake? If this resonates with you, know that you're in good company. Many parents feel the same way, and the good news is it's never too late to heal and rebuild that relationship. The feelings you're experiencing are far more common than you might think, and the truth is, there are practical, even unexpected ways to repair the bonds between you and your children. In today's video, we're going to dive into strategies that go beyond the typical advice you might have heard before. These aren't just the usual tips and tricks. Some of them might even feel a little counterintuitive, but trust me, when you approach your relationship with a fresh perspective, you'll see how effective they can be. If you're ready to take the first step toward reconnecting with your children and creating a relationship that feels deeper and more fulfilling, you're in the right place. And before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our Telegram channel. We've got even more valuable content on spiritual and personal growth that you won't want to miss. Trust me, there's a lot more to come. Let's kick things off with a powerful shift in mindset. Rethink your expectations. As parents, it's easy to assume that our children should automatically understand how we feel and what we need from them. After all, we've given them everything: love, time, energy, and our unwavering support. So why wouldn't they just naturally stay connected with us, right? But the truth is, respect, affection, and meaningful communication don't just happen on their own. They need to be nurtured and taught over time. The reality is that we have to teach our children how to respect us and how to show affection. Have you ever really communicated to your kids just how much you value regular communication and showing respect in the relationship? If you haven't, now is the perfect time to start. It could be as simple as saying, "I'd love to hear from you more often," or "It would really make me happy to know how you're doing." These aren't complaints, they're invitations. You're creating an opportunity for connection, not a demand. But remember, it's not only about what you say, it's about what you do. Actions speak louder than words, so be sure to lead by example. If you want your kids to respect you, show them respect first. That means being patient, consistent, and modeling the behaviors you hope to see in them. Yes, it may take time, and yes, it might be difficult, especially if you're feeling hurt, but sticking with it will pay off in the long run. This small but significant shift in how you approach the relationship could be the key to rebuilding a stronger, more meaningful bond with your children. Now let's talk about something that's incredibly powerful but also challenging: forgiving without waiting for an apology. I know it sounds hard. It's easy to feel justified in holding on to anger, especially when you feel like your children have wronged you. You might find yourself waiting for them to apologize, to admit their mistakes, or to come around and acknowledge your feelings. But here's the reality. Waiting for an apology can keep you stuck in a place of resentment and pain. Forgiving doesn't mean you're excusing their behavior. It means you're freeing yourself from the weight of anger and hurt. It's a gift you give yourself. When you forgive, you stop letting the past dictate your present. You free yourself from the emotional burden of resentment. But remember, forgiving doesn't mean lowering your standards or letting things slide. You can still hold your children to high standards, and you can still set clear boundaries for how you expect to be treated. For example, you might say, "I've forgiven what happened in the past, but moving forward, I'd really appreciate it if we could be more mindful of how we communicate and treat each other. This allows you to express your needs without holding on to past mistakes, and it opens the door for healing and growth. Forgiveness isn't about them, it's about you. It's about reclaiming your peace and giving yourself the space to move forward, free from old wounds. Now let's take a different perspective, one that can really shift the way you look at your child's behavior: empathy in reverse. When your child seems distant or unappreciative, it's easy to feel hurt and take it personally. You might wonder why they're acting this way or whether they're intentionally pulling away from you. But what if their behavior isn't really about you at all? What if it's a reflection of what they're going through in their own lives? Maybe they're struggling with work, relationships, or emotional challenges that you're not aware of. They could be overwhelmed, stressed, or dealing with personal battles that make it hard for them to reach out. Before jumping to conclusions and feeling rejected, try putting yourself in their shoes. Think about times in your life when you were overwhelmed or going through something difficult. Did you always have the emotional bandwidth to check in with others? Probably not. Now, consider that their emotional distance might not have anything to do with you personally. Instead, it might be a result of their own internal struggles. A powerful way to approach this is to respond with empathy rather than frustration. A simple, caring question like, "How are you doing?" or "Is there anything I can do to help?" can open the door to deeper connection. It's not about criticizing their behavior, it's about offering support and understanding. When you lead with empathy instead of judgment, you might just find that they're more willing to open up and reconnect with you in a meaningful way. Finally, let's talk about something that can truly nurture your relationship over time: family rituals. Relationships, especially with our children, thrive on regular, meaningful connection. It's not about grand gestures or over-the-top promises. It's about consistency and showing up for each other, no matter how busy life gets. One of the best ways to do this is by creating family traditions. It could be something simple, like a weekly video call, a monthly movie night, or a Sunday afternoon walk together. The key is consistency. These small, regular moments of connection allow you to build a relationship that deepens naturally over time. It's not about forcing them to spend time with you, it's about creating a space where they can come and feel welcome, supported, and appreciated. And yes, sometimes life gets in the way, your kids might be busy, or they might not always be available, but don't give up. Be flexible and understanding. If they can't make it one week, suggest another time. Let them know that you simply want to spend time together with no pressure or expectations. Over time, these small rituals will become something they look forward to, and they'll begin to value these moments just as much as you do. Finally, here's a really powerful step that might feel uncomfortable at first: owning your mistakes as a parent. It can be tough to admit you're wrong, but let me tell you, this is one of the most effective ways to rebuild trust and repair your relationship with your kids. You don't have to be perfect. None of us are. By saying something like, "I'm sorry I wasn't always the parent you needed me to be," you show humility, maturity, and self-awareness. This doesn't diminish your authority. In fact, it strengthens your bond with them. It gives your children permission to open up and share their own feelings and mistakes, creating a more open, honest, and vulnerable space for communication. When you admit your flaws, you're showing that you're human, and this can lead to a deeper emotional connection that's based on mutual respect. Plus, by taking responsibility, you might even inspire them to reflect on their actions and open up to reconciliation. These strategies aren't just about fixing what's broken, they're about building something stronger, more resilient, and more meaningful in your relationship with your children. Whether it's adjusting your expectations, forgiving without conditions, showing empathy, creating family traditions, or owning your mistakes, you have the power to change the dynamic and create something beautiful. Don't wait for them to come to you. Take the first step and you'll be amazed at how things can shift. And hey, if this video resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe for more transformative content that challenges and uplifts. Together, we can unlock the potential for deeper, more fulfilling connections in all aspects of life. Ready to get started? Let's do this. Establish a secure space for discussion. Fearing judgment or misunderstanding, many kids steer clear of their parents. Because of this, it's critical to provide a space where people can be honest without worrying about criticism or charges. Your attitude may create this safe space. Be really interested in what they have to say, listen without interrupting, and refrain from offering unwanted advice. Your responses have the power to distinguish between an open and closed debate. I'm here to listen to you, and tell me how you're doing are examples of phrases that promote tolerance and acceptance. Body language is equally essential. To make them feel appreciated, give them a kind glance, a smile, or a simple nod of agreement. Youngsters are more inclined to express their ideas and emotions when they believe they won't be criticized, which lays the groundwork for a closer bond. Don't pursue it. Encourage people. You risk overwhelming your kids and further alienating them if you are always trying to get their attention. Instead, think about yourself. Participate in things you are enthusiastic about. Take time to take care of your health and develop new hobbies. You will be happier and come across as more fascinating and inspirational to them if you demonstrate that you have a full and fulfilling life. Instead of pursuing, a self-sufficient and contented parent sets a good example. Instead of emotionally leaving them, this means demonstrating that you are a whole person who can find happiness outside of the parent-child bond. You may attract your kids with your good energy, making them want to be a part of your life. Allow children to find you instead of requesting their attention all the time. They will be attracted to your calm and self-sufficient example. Expect the unexpected. You may sometimes restore priceless memories and strengthen your relationship with your kids with a modest, unexpected gesture. An item that evokes a special memory, a handwritten note, or a family picture with a heartfelt message are examples of presents that have emotional worth rather than being material. These heartfelt presents demonstrate the importance of their connection with you. An album of vintage photos with personal remarks or a letter narrating a memorable childhood experience are two examples. Not only are these actions very heartwarming, but they may also encourage your kids to reconsider the importance of your connection and rekindle your shared link. It's a simple but effective method of showing them how much you care without using words. And you? Have you ever had the experience of feeling disrespected or ignored by your kids? How did you respond? We can all endeavor to re-establish stronger ties founded on respect and understanding, even though every relationship is different. See what happens when you try one of these suggestions. Have you encountered a similar situation before, or are you considering a different strategy? In the comments, write it. Your experience is very valuable. It is our genuine hope that you have found this video to be both beneficial and motivating. Please remember to subscribe to our channel so that you can receive future updates on spirituality and wisdom. If you enjoy this content, please share it with others you believe would find it useful. We appreciate you following along on this adventure. The next video will see you.